We're joined here by Mr. Rajan, Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. Welcome.
Thank you.
What do you see as the most pressing issues between generations in India? And do you, as Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, try to address these?
Well, I think the key issue for the youth in India today, jobs. It's very hard to think of anything else which matters more to them now. Jobs, good careers, and clearly what we need for that is sustainable growth. Sustainable in many ways. Sustainable in the sense that it doesn't go up and down. It steadily stays high so that people can plan. Sustainable in the sense that it doesn't spoil the environment. Sustainable in the sense that it's fair, that it helps everyone and doesn't help certain segments significantly less than others. So we're working on it. Now the central bank has only a part role to play. A lot of it has to come from government initiatives. But our job is to make sure that the environment, macroeconomic environment, is stable so that we can get growth without big fluctuations. That's what we're working on.
Talking about stability, already in 2005 you forecasted in a paper of yours that financial development has made the world a riskier place and that a financial crisis would occur. Why did no one listen?
I don't think it's right to say nobody listened. The problem, of course, is when people warn about events to happen, bad events. You have to put probabilities on it. How likely is it? What are the mitigating factors? Am I reasonably confident that if it happens, I can undertake actions that will bring the system out? My sense is that many central bankers were cognizant of what I was pointing out, understood that there was a risk along the lines that I was suggesting. But I would say that most of them felt that they had the tools to bring the system out of trouble. Because after all, they had used those tools in the early 2000s when there was the dot-com crisis and it had worked. Of course, this time was indeed different.
Talking about risk mitigation, now almost 10 years later and several interventions by governments, regulators and central banks, also later, do you feel that these actions have actually helped to reduce risk?
I think they've helped somewhat. I do think that there are two big factors we have to address. One is a lot of regulation has gone into the banking system. But we have not yet figured out how we regulate the part of the financial system outside the banking system, the shadow banking system, so to speak. So we need to figure that out better. Second, I think monetary policy. We need to figure out how to conduct monetary policy in a way that is stable, that is sustainable, that doesn't in itself help create asset price bubbles and subsequent busts. And I think both those are still work in progress.
Thank you, Mr. Rajan. It has been extremely interesting. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Pat.